everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm always excited for our monthly free webinar, but I'm not sure I've ever been as excited as I am for this one, because your money story is absolutely at the heart of financial healing. And I developed this, what I'm calling it, personalized experiential financial social work training. It is about a mouthful, but that's what we're doing today. And I hope you're just going to get so much out of it and be so happy that you joined us today. So, I am Rita Wolfson, founder of Financial Social Work. With us is Linda Benjamin, our relationship manager, and Olga Panana, and she is all things tech. So she will be in that cute question box and there to help if you need her. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay, so we'll start with some quick housekeeping, some commonly asked questions. You can check. Oops, I have the chat box, but I think it has to be the question box. I will tell you that the slides aren't shared. They are proprietary, but you will have the recording emailed to you in the next few days so you can review it. And it will probably be up on our website, Facebook page, and YouTube channel sooner than that. You can type your questions into the question box, and we will answer as many as time permits at the end of the training. You're about to meet Valerie Arendt, who is our very special director of NASW North Carolina, and she is generous enough to be presenting all of you with 1 CE for your attendance today. And you will see that CE certificate within an hour or so of the end of the webinar. So if you have any technical issues, there's the link, and I believe that Olga will have that in chat or Q&A, whichever it is, should you need it. Okay, so I encourage you to have a paper and pencil with you. This training is very personalized to you. I will be asking you questions to help you work on your money story. So you don't need to share that with anyone. It is for your own edification, your own learning. But we will have some interactive questions later on in the training. Plus, we have a kind of special surprise that came together this morning. And so for those of you in attendance, we will have a discount code at the end of the training. And I think you'll be glad that you stayed for it. So now it gives me great, really great pleasure to introduce the executive director of NASW North Carolina, Valerie Arendt. Valerie, it's all you.
So much. Thank you so much, Rita, as always, for partnering with us. And I just want to thank you. And Rita is a longtime NASW North Carolina member, and just want to thank her for her constant support of NASW. And in any space in which Rita is, I will do a shout out to her. Rita was named as an NASW Social Work Pioneer in 2022 for being the founder and pioneer of financial social work. You all are here today, and she provides free webinars and CE for thousands of social workers and behavioral health providers every year. So just thank you so much, Rita, for your leadership in this space. And NASW North Carolina is honored to continue to support Rita and financial social work in educating these thousands of behavioral health professionals and their clients on how to improve their relationship with their money and themselves, and to develop financial competence, financial health, and overall well-being. This year is the 40th anniversary of National Social Work Month, and you may have heard that March 2024 is Social Work Month. Theme is empowering social workers, and this theme was chosen to continue to educate the public that social workers are educated, we're trained and qualified to handle a myriad of societal troubles, and the demand for social workers and behavioral health professionals has never been higher. NASW continues to advocate for higher reimbursement rates and salaries nationwide for social workers. So be on the lookout for Social Work Month campaign materials, proclamations, and ways to continue to inform the public that we are a valuable asset to our communities and we should be paid accordingly. Rita will be hosting her Social Work Month webinar called Modernizing Social Work to Meet the Financial Needs of Today's Social Workers on March 14th, in addition to her webinars in February and in April. So Rita was saying before we just jumped on that she's always reluctant to self-promote, to promote the work that she does. So I am here to promote Rita's amazing work to make sure that she continues to educate you all and your clients around how we can have financial well-being. So thank you so much to Rita and Financial Social Work for hosting this important topic so we can learn how social workers and their clients can navigate the path to greater financial health and wellness. Thank you so much, Rita, and thank you everyone for being here today.
Wow, thanks, Valerie. I wasn't expecting all of that. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so fortunate. I like to start with our financial social work affirmation. It goes just for today. I will love myself enough to face my fears, practice self-acceptance, and embrace hope. Silence my inner critic, speak my truths, and make peace with myself and my past. Just for today, I will give myself permission to eliminate toxic people, beliefs, and behaviors from my life. And I will prepare for a better tomorrow by healing my relationship with my money and myself today. I feel that's the foundation for all the work I've done over the past 26 years. So I do like to share it with our audience. Some of the questions we'll be asking this afternoon at this training will be personal. Well, all of them will be very personal. And anytime we talk about money, it does bring up a lot of different thoughts, feelings, attitudes about our relationship with our money and our relationship with ourselves. So let's put both feet on the floor and take a couple of very deep breaths in and breathe them out. One more time. Okay. This training is about personal growth and professional development. It is one of the things that I love so much about my work because all of us, including me, have the ability to improve our own financial futures. And professionally, we add new tools to your social work toolbox. And of course, we have many graduates who are not social workers. So the training, the certification is available to all helping professionals that would like to take it. At the end of this training, you will be more connected to your money and your money story. You will have greater insight into the value of each person's money story and the role that it can play in client work, and have new tools and ideas for helping clients increase their financial health and wellness. We talk about asking the hard questions. So we have 20 or so personal financial questions. They and their answers are meant to connect you to your money and your money story. We're not going to have a tremendous amount of time for you to work on each question, but we will be timing them. to try and give you a chance to begin delving into them. So, what's so important about your money story? Uh, I love this graphic. I've loved it since the first time I ever saw it. I think for me, um, you're about to see how much of our money story and our lives, and as professionals, you know that how much of this begins in childhood. And that's where our money stories begin. So let's get started. Our first question is, what's your first money memory? I'm going to put up, I think, 3 or 4 questions at one time, and Linda will be timing us for about a minute and a half to give you time to at least contemplate these questions, take a picture of the screen, whatever it is you want to do to help you with your money story. Who most influenced your feelings about money as a child? How did that or those specific individuals affect your relationship with money? You will see later when I explain a little about my work in financial social work that the core of it is addressing our relationship with our money and our relationship with ourselves. Linda, do you want to give us about a minute and a half for people to?
Yes, I sure will. With the caveat, this is not a sprint. It's not a race, but we're doing a webinar, so we've got to keep going. You got a minute, 30 seconds, think, and then write down so you remember, and go.
Great caveat, by the way.
Not to interrupt, I'll whisper in your ear. You have a little less than a minute left. It's a very rich question. Thirty seconds. And we're closing in on 15 seconds. 5 seconds. And that wraps it up. Rita, if you want to go on to your next slide.
Before I do, I'd like to explain, anybody who knows me and has attended the many, many, many webinars that I've done with myself or with guest speakers knows that it's really hard for me to be quiet. That's why I have Linda timing it. But I don't know that we need to. So here's the next set. Which word or phrase best describes your relationship with money? Why did you choose that word or phrase to describe your relationship with money? Which word or phrase best describes your relationship with yourself? Why and how does that word or phrase describe your relationship with yourself? And how did your early money story contribute to your current relationship with your money and yourself? I think a minute would do here, Linda.
Okay. Yep. And we'll start now. Rita, you're doing very well at being quiet, and you only have 30 seconds left. And we're done.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I seem to be having trouble moving forward here, so
Okay.
that's not okay. Okay. With whom do you feel safe talking about money? Why is that someone you feel safe talking to? With whom do you feel unsafe talking about money? And why? What do you want your money to do for you this year? How would you like it to be in your life, your money, in 5 years? What are your 3 biggest financial fears? And what are your top 3 financial hopes and goals? Let's do a minute.
Okay. And a minute starts now. And we're coming to a close. That's our minute.
I know this is a bit non-traditional, but the money story is so important. And I know how complicated all of our lives are and how rare it is for us to get back to revisiting a training and then doing the work that was included. And that's how I came to develop this one. I've never done anything like it before, and I'm not sure I'll ever do anything like it again, but here we are. So, do you know how much you owe, own, earn, spend, need? Those are things we should all know. How important is financial stability and freedom to you? What dollar amount or any other way of measurement represents financial security or stability to you? And why is that? What are you willing to do to achieve financial security or stability or financial health for sure? And why? And what are you not willing to do to achieve financial health and wellness?
And your minute starts now. And you can start finishing up because our minute is done.
Well, we are coming to the more interactive part for your participation. But this is the final slide where I want to ask you, what are 2 things you learned from this exercise? I know it wasn't extensive. We go much more into depth when we do the certification, but I think this is a great intro. I hope it's a great introduction to you. 2 things you learned from this exercise about yourself, about your money, about your childhood, about your financial future, and what surprised you the most? If you were answering the question, I would think that some of these questions are very relevant.
Okay. And go. Even though I said it's not a race. I made it sound like it was. Okay, we're about halfway through. And you'll want to be finishing up your answers. Our minute ends now.
Okay, so now we get to be more interactive. Okay, so in the question box, I would so love to hear what you thought was the best part of this interactive money story activity. As you put in your thoughts, Linda will share them anonymously.
Anyone? I don't see anything here.
Well, I'd like to think some people thought there was something good about it.
Linda, you should see now. We have a lot of replies. Financial literacy is critical, and I wish I had more childhood knowledge of stocks. Can you see it, Linda? Time to reflect on our own values. My child.
Okay. Is it possible to, it helped me, what? Hold on. The activity let me know how much my money perspective and actions have changed over the years. The childhood money story that popped up was one that I had not remembered for a long time. The most interesting thing to me was my first money story. It was hilarious. The question of what most influenced feelings about money as a child, they were very revealing. Thinking about how your ideas about money are formed in childhood. Time to reflect on our own values. It took me right back to my childhood when I first realized I could buy something with money I had found. Trying to connect childhood with present day. I was not too surprised at any of my answers. And while the activity was not too in-depth due to time constraints, it's interesting to see how early childhood experiences affect financial views. Thinking back to how my mother had to go to work since my father had a failing business. This made me realize I still don't think strongly about money, in all honesty.
we can go on to the next one. Thank you,
Yeah.
everybody, because that reaffirms the rightness of this training, and that's very important to me. And it's what's, of course, the most important to me is to help as many people, clients and professionals, to do this work, because our mental health is so connected to our financial health. Does anyone want to share the most difficult part for you? It can be in general terms. It just could be if one of the questions was harder for you than the others. It brings up a lot of stuff. I know it does. I
Yeah,
know.
we already have some answers here reflecting on the anxiety, on the anxiety money brings up, recognizing the relationship of my childhood to how I relate to money as an adult, realizing that my relationship with money is very anxiety driven. The reflection was challenging, but I enjoyed it. Realizing how much worse my money story was a few years ago versus now. Glad to hear it. Not really surprised by this, but how to judge what's really needed for the future and retirement. Not being taught how to save money and prioritizing how to save, and buyer's remorse. My childhood was unstable due to illnesses, and there was not enough. However, I can see my growth and have realized I've made good strides. For you, learning how much stability is important to me. I underestimated that. Wow, that was a good thing. Today was a good day for you. I like this one. Learning is the beginning of my story.
Oh, I love all of them, but that is just the favorite part of my work. I love connecting people to their money and to themselves. Thank you, everybody. Okay, next. How can you use what we discussed and learned together today personally? Of course, I love financial social work because I created it so that our students and graduates could improve their own financial circumstances and futures, as well as help clients do the same. So I think some of you alluded to how you might use it personally to improve your financial future. Anybody sharing, Lynn?
Oh yeah. I realized I don't look closely at my mortgage and my debt because it causes me stress. I strive to have enough money so that I don't have to worry, but it leads me to look the other way.
I just have to say that those feelings, and the reason I do this is because probably everyone, most of the people on this training feel the same way. It's the truth. This is
mhm,
hard, but it
mhm.
doesn't have to be. That's why we do what we do here. Okay.
Right.
Go ahead.
Another one of our lovely participants said, I realized how important our past experience with money affects our present and our future. I loved that I could reflect on how much I've grown. I wasn't set up for a healthy relationship with myself or my money. I am no longer owning that story as truth about money.
Perfect.
I will share these questions with people I love. I will share these questions with people I love so they can think about their own relationship with money. In creating a better financial future for myself, it will enable me to make clients comfortable enough to trust me and share their story with me. It helped me identify how much my beliefs and choices around money were tied to my sense of self. It's too depressing to calculate my monthly bills and debt. It helped me write W-R-I-T-E, write into existence how serious this is. It let me know how powerful not only my parents, but my grandparents, who all lived through the Depression, influenced and continue to influence my attitudes toward money. It made me appreciate my parents not speaking about money problems in front of me as a child. Net worth does not equal self-worth, and
Absolutely.
not being taught how to save money, prioritize. Okay, that's what we've got.
Well, I'm so overwhelmed by such wonderful responses. It's hard for me really to speak. That's it, everybody. That's where it comes from. Use this information, share this information. You will receive the recording, and you can share the recording and let people think more about their relationship with their money and with themselves, because it matters, because nobody can do this for us. We have to be responsible. So last question to share in the question box. How will you use what you learned professionally? And some of you did answer with how you will share this with others. What I would point out here is what a non-threatening approach this is. All of the work of financial social work is very non-threatening intentionally, because it is so hard to talk about money. However, our model is financial engagement, education, motivation, and support. And this is how you engage clients. Nobody is engaged with a budget until they understand its value. And of course, everyone should have a budget. Nobody wants a budget. No one understands its value until we get past this aspect of it and people realize that we're giving them new hope and new opportunity and new ways of thinking and relating to money. Linda, did anybody share anything on the professional side?
We have a lot of, and we have so many people talking to us. I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, this one is hard because all of my clients receive SSI and have representative payees. They need more education around money, but everything, time and money is so limited. This could help clients who are stuck working on their career plan. It could help people who are avoiding responsibility. It would also help those who are addicted to substances or certain behaviors, give an added incentive.
It's all true. It's all true. Okay, well, I took a risk doing this webinar and it was well worth it. Thank you, everyone. Now, here's what we're looking for. Is there someone that would like to be unmuted and tell the rest of us, share or process what you experienced through this exercise? You can raise your hand if you want to, and we would unmute you. It may be a big ask, so I just thought I'd put it out there.
Oh, we have one. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me unmute Curtis Chamber.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. This was awesome. I too didn't know what to expect or think coming in. I appreciate the opening proverb or affirmation to get me in the right space, as well as the breathing because this is so deep and it took me back. I'm in my mid 40s and it took me back to being 3, 4, 5 years old and seeing things with my grandmother and mom, dad. And so I'm in the dual role of, experiencing it for myself and also thinking what it would be like for some of the people I work with in the community. So that's huge to set the stage and maybe have something closing as well so that folks aren't holding something so heavy. So I think there's great opportunity, but then I was just a little fearful, because of the range of emotions that could come up. So anything you guys could share as far as, closing and making sure we're taking care of each other on the way out would be most appreciated. Thank you all again.
Thank you. Thank you. That's that's powerful. I think we're going to have some time at the end of this training. I am opening it to anyone who wants to share your suggestions with this wonderful person who just did such an amazing job of sharing. And then we can discuss that after we finish everything. Was there anybody else, Olga?
Yes, we have. Should I unmute another person?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
it will be Lauren.
And Linda, remind me at the end so we can circle back and discuss how to wind down, because that's a really good question.
Yes.
Lauren?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there. Just some of the things that came up for me were how important it is for us to have these conversations from parent to child. I do agree with the person who said about not having discussions of money troubles in front of your child, or to do that in an appropriate and healthy way, but to have a discussion about budgets, and also for mentors to have this conversation with mentees. Like, if it were part of the supervision process, I think that would be so valuable. And then for my own personal journey through this, I was noticing the patterns that I had as a child and within my family, where I had some privilege and so things were more secure. And now that I am often the breadwinner or sole provider for my family, that my interaction with money is very different, because I'm not able to save back the little bits of my lunch money that I used to when I was a child. So I'm kind of curious about my money journey in the middle. So in between where I had that security as a child to now as an adult, and how it is different based on the demand that has been put on me as my family's breadwinner.
So powerful, so genuine. And the work that we have to do is to heal that, those young child memories. And you are very accurate. Something I talk about at most of my trainings is the fact that we continue to raise generation after generation of financially illiterate people. We're doing it, and we shouldn't be doing it, but it's been going on forever. And it's because we have this consumer economy, and everything is driven by the consumer economy, and we need to spend to keep it going. And I don't know how many of you are new to our monthly free webinars. We've been doing them for well over a decade. All those recordings are on the website. But I was going to mention that we usually do a holiday webinar to help people find alternative ways to spending too much money, because here we are post holiday. It will take, and people, of course, spent much more than they thought they would or wanted to. It will take some people well into the year, if not into next year, to pay off that debt. So, of course, we do focus a lot on training how to avoid the debt, how to heal the debt. But But we do need to teach this to our children. Well, you'll see, I have something that will pop up before we finish together. How important I consider that to be. I a colleague and I have been asked to write a textbook on financial social work, and in doing so, I've been identifying some other weak spots and trying to focus more and share more in a text. It doesn't really belong in a textbook, but it does belong in this discussion. Yes, appropriately teaching children about money. It does have to be age appropriate. And many of our clients are not going to feel confident or confident talking about money, not only with you as a therapist or trainer, but as a parent. And certainly many families feel that it isn't the children's business and they're not comfortable talking about it. And we perpetuate this. It just, that cycle keeps going. So thank you for that. That was great insight also. Do we have one more person and then we can finish up?
Yes, okay. Let me unmute Catherine. Catherine?
Catherine, you're unmuted. Did you want to share?
Okay, maybe next one. Let's try dementia. Okay, dementia, Scott.
Hello, hi. As I was reflecting on some of the questions, it brought a lot of self-awareness about my current self and my current growth. Someone mentioned earlier about feelings of being stuck. I've had that experience myself in the past, but utilizing a lot of information that I have received from some of the materials um, from your website and attending some of the free webinars, um, I began to realize and acknowledge and accept um, where my values were before and where they've grown to based upon my family values and my family function. Um, Someone mentioned entitlement. As a child, sometimes when you don't see the negative side or don't have those conversations, period, um, you tend to think that maybe some of the positive values that your parents have, like saving, buying home, and so forth, that is just going to be passed down to you and not really thinking past that if you're not having those conversations, and then that could be detrimental in a family cycle. And I see how some families have lost intergenerational wealth by not having those conversations. So for example, say we have the grandparents and my parents generation where they worked hard to provide for families and they were able to purchase homes, where then down the road some generations were not able to maintain those. So that's disheartening to me when I reflect and I see the losses that people have had because they didn't make the right decisions. So it makes me wonder, like, where is the breakdown, the gap? If you do start off with those family values of saving, work ethic, and so forth, where is the breakdown when that doesn't transfer over into future generations? And then that makes me reflect on other things like trauma, environmental situations, the things that are going on in people's ecosystems. And so when we look at our clients that we serve as well, it helps me have a little bit more empathy and understanding of current situations that they may have, and it just makes me want to learn more for myself, and have better habits and values for myself and my family, as well as facilitating workshops and groups for parents that I work with. I work at a school, And part of my job is parent and community engagement. And as Rita mentioned earlier about, unfortunately, there's things that are going on in the world today that are out of our controls, but um, being able to learn and manage to have still good, healthy values and feelings around money. And most importantly, someone mentioned earlier on constantly having these conversations, having these platforms. So I'm so grateful to even be able to engage with you guys here and hear the feedback and the reflections of others. And I just think that it's great, and we just need to continue these things. And I hope over time we'll be able to heal a lot of our families. Everyone may not be wealthy or rich, but they'll have a better sense of self in regards to the relationship with their money. Thank you.
Definitely complex. I understand that, but so powerful to me, your generosity in sharing, everyone. And yes, bringing this to clients is a different piece of the work, certainly, but it belongs there. And we need to decide how to do that. Certainly, the certification, it's created that way, but you can do it in many different ways, certainly with all of our free tools. So I thank all of you for your sharing and wish we could keep talking. I've tried having all kinds of conversations via Zoom and via other means to get us all together to talk about this, but not had that much success. So maybe we'll try again in the future. So let's keep going. So understanding your money story is really important, as you've already shared, to helping clients with their money story, because clients overwhelmed by financial circumstances they didn't know how to prevent and have no idea how to cope with, they have a lot of difficulty addressing the dollars and cents of their problems and the stress without first dealing with that psychosocial perspective, those thoughts, feelings, attitudes, beliefs, values, and experiences that create them. So there, look, I've spent 26 years trying to simplify this as much as possible. It's not all that simple, but it's certainly critical and so important. So we're going to finish up with some tips for helping clients connect to their money story so they can accept they deserve better, respect their credit score, pay attention to their student loans, address personal financial trauma. I will insert here that we have a wonderful graduate as a guest speaker last month on coping with money trauma. So you can watch that recording on our website. Be more aware of their financial circumstances. We help clients connect so they can commit to financial behavioral change. Here's a big one: forgive themselves for past financial mistakes. We all need to do that because we all make mistakes. Recognize the value of having an estate plan. Everyone on this call and our clients need an estate plan. I regret it's called estate. None of us think of what we have as an estate, but clients need a will. They need a lot of the pieces of an estate plan if something should happen to them. Identify their values and priorities so they can spend accordingly. Make use of we call it a personal spending and savings plan, also known as a budget. And understand, until you take control of your money, you're never going to be in control of your life. We want to help clients understand their money story so they know what's in it for me. All of us want to know what's in it for me. Every advertisement, probably every post on every social media. We're asking ourselves, should I buy this? What's in it for me? What do I get from it? So we need to help clients understand the benefits of changing their financial behavior. We want them to understand there is always hope. I do believe that. Only they can heal themselves. We can't do it. The importance of raising financially literate and confident children. How and why to give themselves permission to improve their financial health and well-being. And invite greater financial health and wellness into your practice, your casework, your client work, your classrooms, your workplaces, your conversations, and certainly into your own life. And I feel pretty good about that because several of you, more than several of you, have shared how you're going to bring it into your own life. So for those of you not familiar with financial social work, I thought I'd sneak the same slide in because I love it so much. You should know that financial social work is at the intersection of social work, politics, the economy, gender, racial, economic, social, climate, and other abled justice, mental health, and financial inequity. No one chooses to have money problems. Sadly, though, most people do. And that's why so many Americans need a financial social worker. Financial social work is interactive, reflective, holistic, and multidisciplinary. It is very heart-centered. We approach money and life from a perspective of healing, acceptance, courage, wellness, and honesty. It's engaging, motivational, strength-based. I guess it's really motivational because I have it there twice. It's the core work of everything I've done with my professional life the past quarter century. It's about healing our relationship with money and with ourselves, taking ownership for our own financial health. And it goes from the individual to the family, the social environment, the workplace, and the community. No one wants to have financial problems, but most people do. They need trustworthy, reliable professionals with whom to process all things monetary. They need someone certified in financial social work. They need a safe, non-judgmental space where they may talk and learn about money. They need someone certified in financial social work. And everyone needs someone and somewhere to share the money secrets and questions they've been hiding from or avoiding all their lives. And I think all of us on this training understand that piece. And they need someone certified in financial social work. We have thousands of graduates across the country and around the world. There's a short list of some of the other countries. And I think it is because of the behavioral model that other countries are interested in this approach. So we have some additional resources. Next month, our monthly free webinar is Must You Choose Between Love and Money? And then for Social Work Month, very excited about this, modernizing social work to meet the financial needs of today's social workers and clients. And we will be fortunate enough to include a CE from Valerie for this training also. And April is Financial Literacy Month, and we have a very special training scheduled for that month too. We have a client financial wellness magazine that allows you to keep the name of your organization or your practice in front of those who need the help most. And you can learn more about that on her website. We also have a professional financial social work directory. And for that low cost of $99, you can be listed. Your practice, your organization can be listed forever. We also have a partner program. And many social workers and others have earned hundreds of dollars from our financial social work partner program. You might want to be one of them. Again, you can see up near the card on the front page of our website, you can click on that question so you can be in the partner program. This is very exciting for all of us at the Center for Financial Social Work. We have some truly amazing and dedicated graduates who have created the Financial Social Work Collaborative, a free space for collaborating, educating, networking, and supporting. It will include a number of different approaches, and they have scheduled their first virtual networking event on January 24th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. If you know other graduates, or we certainly love you if you're a student or graduate to attend. And if you're interested in learning more about the certification, you can attend also. Olga, were you going to put that link in the
Yes, in the chat box.
Thank you. All right, in the chat box. I thank the amazing graduates that are doing this work. And finally, well, I have to get you that discount code, but finally, this is what I know about money and want you to know too. In as few words as possible. No one chooses to have money problems, but most people do. No one needs to know everything about money, but everyone needs to know certain things about money. What those things are will depend on who you are, where you are, what stage of life you're in. And here you go. We need to provide children with real world, to prepare them for the real world by teaching them about money. We need to stay aware of the connection between money and mental health. And there exists too strong a relationship between finances and suicide that shouldn't and doesn't have to be a death sentence. We should always choose health. When we talk about money, what are we really talking about? Certainly safety, security, survival, but we are talking about power, because those who have the power, or those who have the money, have the power. And everyone has a relationship with money and with self, and most need healed relationship with yourself. Takes time, honesty, less self-criticism, and more self-love. And healing your relationship with your money begins with your thoughts, feelings, attitudes, values, and experiences with money. So the financial social work certification, it includes a lifetime membership in our directory. It is $695, but as a special incentive to those who attended the webinar, just those who attended the webinar, we are offering a 15% discount when you check out. You just have to put in the code webinar 2024-01. This discount is only good through tomorrow night at midnight. And that concludes this training right at 3 o'clock. I thank all of you for joining us. I hope we'll see you back here in the future. I certainly appreciate all of the sharing that went on here, and hope to hear from you and see you soon. Thanks, everyone. Stay well. Bye now. Special shout out and thank you to Valerie from NASW North Carolina, and Olga and Linda. Bye now.